Ellen here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Let It Be by the Beatles on my Bamboo GC36 Indie classical guitar. So if you're interested in this beautiful design as well as checking out any of the other ones, I will make sure to link their website down below. I wanted to give a huge shout out and thank you to my patrons for voting on this song as this month's patron picks. So if you want a little bit of voting power in the songs you see me teach here on my channel, make sure to check out my Patreon page. I will link that down below. Here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this video today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so you only need to know 7 different chord shapes to play through this song, and we're going to start with our C major, which looks like this and sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, I do cover how to do that in my free beginner course right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out. The next chord you need to know is our G major. We also have our A minor. Then there's our F major. We also have our E minor. Then there's our D minor. And then the last chord you need to know is our B flat. And those are the 7 chords to play through this song. So go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really memorize these chord shapes, as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them, because it'll make learning the rest of the song so much easier. And I know this is a skill I always tell you guys to prepare for, but in this song in particular, it's very important to make sure that you can transition these chords pretty quickly. You'll see why as we go through it. So just make sure to pause and take as much time as you need to do that. If this is a skill you're currently struggling with, I do have an entire Practice With Me playlist right here where we go through this skill in real time together. But once you have those chords under your belt, then we can go ahead and talk about the strumming that you can use for this song. Alright guys, so as I always say, if you are a beginner at guitar or you're somebody who struggles with playing guitar while singing at the same time, the first thing I would suggest doing is to bring up the song and go ahead and play through the whole thing with a single down strum on every chord change as you sing through the song, and just take this time to really get used to what word you're singing when those chords are changing. So here's a quick example of what that would look like. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Alright, so already you can see there that little walk down at the end, F, E minor, D minor, C, is really quick transitions. You'll see that again in other parts of the song, so like I said, make sure you got those transitions down. But essentially you would want to do this for the entire song and just really make sure you know where those chords are going to be changing, like what word you're singing, things like that. And this is actually something you do right now if you check out my Patreon page. I do have this entire guide available to download and print out, so I'll make sure to leave that link in the description for you. But once you've done that, we can talk about a more full strumming pattern that you can use for this song. Alright guys, so the strumming pattern I would suggest, as you can see, we're going to be counting it in a 16th note pattern. So it's going to sound like this. We have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2 and a 3, 4 and a down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Alright, it's fairly straightforward there. Before we continue, I'm going to put a little vertical line right in the middle here, and basically what this is going to represent is where we want to change chords. So the full strumming pattern does cover a full measure, but what we're actually going to do to play through this song is we're going to only have a half measure per chord. Alright, so for an example, let's go ahead and bring up the first verse. On our C chord, we're going to play the left half, so we have down, 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 up. You switch to your G chord, finish out the measure on the right half, down, 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 up. Same with our next 2 chords, A minor, down, down, up, F, down, down, up. Alright, and just to finish out the verse, we would go back to C, down, 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 up, G, down, down, up. And then here for the Let It Be walk down part, I would just do a single down strum for each of these chords. F, E minor, D minor, C. Alright? So when you string it all together and add some lyrics, it'll sound like this. We have C, down, down, up, G, down, down, up, A minor, F, C, G, single strum all of these. When I find myself example of how all of the verses will sound, let's go ahead and go through a chorus so you can see what that looks like. So we're starting with our A minor chord here, and the chord order is going to be different, but the way you play the strumming is exactly the same. So we have A minor, down, 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 up to G, down, 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 up F, to C, stay on C, to G, and then same walk down just like this. Good job. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. All right. So basically this song goes back and forth between verses and choruses, so we've essentially played the strumming pattern for the entire song, so you would just want to make sure to practice that. But yeah, this is the basic strumming pattern that I would recommend for the entire song. All right guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really get that strumming pattern under your belt. The rhythm shouldn't be too hard to count. I think it's more gonna be transitioning those chords fast enough, like I said earlier. So just make sure to take as much time as you need to get that strumming pattern down. But if you're familiar with the song, there is kind of that pretty piano line throughout, and I do have a simple picking pattern that kind of mimics that. So if you're up for it, I would love to show you this picking pattern that you can use for this song. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Hey, really quick, in addition to the printable guide we've been looking at, did you know I also offer customizable backing tracks, polls for what songs you want to learn next, and even video chats if you're having trouble? You can unlock all these perks and more if you become a patron, which helps me grow my channel and make more videos just like this one. Or if Patreon's not your thing, you can still help me out a lot by giving me a thumbs up and leaving a comment below to help me reach more people in YouTube's recommendations. It only takes a second but makes a huge difference. So thanks so much, and let's get back into it. Alright guys, so this picking pattern is going to be fairly simple. Basically, the general rules of picking is on your left hand, we're still going to be holding the same chord shapes that we've already been practicing, but on your right hand, we are going to assign our fingers to a string. So what I want you to do is take your index, your middle finger, and your ring finger, and we're going to put those on the bottom 3 strings. And they're gonna live here as we do this picking pattern. Your thumb is going to cover the bass note or the root note of all of these chords. So it's gonna be on the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, okay? So throughout this entire thing, you wanna make sure that those fingers, your thumb is the only one moving, and these 3 live down here, okay? So starting with our C chord, what you wanna do is we're gonna pick the root note, the C, which is our A string, with your thumb. Then you're gonna pick your index finger by itself, and then you wanna pick both your middle and your ring finger on the low 2 strings together. So we have, and then you wanna come back and just kind of close it out. So it's kind of like an arpeggio. We have, all right? So if you can get used to that motion, we are gonna copy paste it for all of these other chords. So the next chord is our G chord. So now your thumb's gonna move to this low E string, the 6th string, but the pattern's the same. We have 6, 3, 2, 1, 3. Then for A minor, we go back to our 5th string, 5, 3, 2, 1, 3. And then for F, we're gonna go here to the 6th string again. So far we have, okay, to finish out the verses, we're gonna go back to our C, to G, and then here for this little walk down, we're going to mimic that single strum pattern. We're gonna go F, E minor, D minor, to C. Okay, so what I'm doing there is for the F chord, I'm just picking these bottom 3 strings with the bass root note, which is the 6th E string. So I'm just picking them all together at the same time. And then same with E minor. And then for D minor, your thumb moves to the 4th D string. Okay, so you're picking 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when you get back to C, you would go back to the regular picking pattern. All right, so let's go ahead and go through the entire verse. We've got C, G, quick, sometimes on that F chord, I will separate the bass and the top 3 strings. So I'll go like, but that is a little bit more of a rush, you know, so if you're already struggling with the picking, I would just stick to the single strum like that, or the single pick. Okay, so let's go ahead and now go to the chorus. This is going to be the same picking pattern. So you can see here on A minor, we have, then we have G, then we have F, then we go to C, back to C, to G, and then F, E minor, D minor, C. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. All right. And yeah, like I said earlier, the whole song goes back and forth between the verse and the chorus, and that's how you would play through it with picking. All right, now really quick, I know I've been talking about how the whole song goes from verse to chorus, back and forth, but there is gonna be that section in the middle where we are gonna go through a lot of these chord shapes pretty quickly, leading into the solo. So for that part, if you're doing picking or if you're doing strumming, I would just do a single strum for each of those chords. So basically we have our F, E minor, D minor, C, then we go to B flat, A minor, G, F, C. All right, so those chords will come at you really quickly. So that's something that I would spend a lot of time making sure that you can get those transitions down for. Yeah, that is how I would suggest strumming or picking the entire song. All right, guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video. And if finger picking is something that you are interested in doing, just make sure to pause and practice for as long as you need to really get that hand-eye coordination down of doing the arpeggiated picking pattern. It can take a lot of practice, so just make sure to take as much time as you need to do that. But once you get back, we can put everything we've learned together to play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Want to have fun jamming out to the rest of this song with me? Then make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other fast track and play along guitar tutorials. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description box down below. If you enjoyed learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe and feel, but it's just as fun and easy to play, so I'll see you over there. Bye!